Jim Bede is famous in the aviation world for many unique designs. Some of those designs are no longer in production, but are still flying today. Let's take a look at what Bede Aero Southeast is up to in 2021. Alright, well I'm out here in obviously very sunny Florida. Stopped by Fort Pierce to visit Bede Aero to walk you through their whole entire lineup of the aircraft they are currently manufacturing and some that they're not.
My name is Tim Becker. I'm the engineer and manager for Bede Aero Southeast. Went to school, Kent State, graduated with a degree in aeronautical systems engineering. Ended up working for Jim Bede in Medina for a few years. And decided to move down here, set up a build facility where we could fly year round, and I came down with the business. I've been here, it'll be 9 years.
This is the first time I've ever seen a Bede up close, and not knowing the construction of this. Kind of walk us through the different components and just the pure materials of what is used to build your aircraft.
So you can see on the wall back here, this is where we keep all of our honeycomb. Several years ago, Jim decided to switch from the fiberglass wing build on our BD4. It used to be the slide-on bucket style, and we went with the honeycomb ribs. So you can see all the different rib profiles up there are for different wings, for our BD4, BD6, and 17, along with the vertical and horizontal tails. We decided to bond those and make a nice clean surface. If you were to get a kit, you would get these components right here. We just box them up and send them to you.
So maybe a better description of this is kind of like an aluminum composite aircraft construction?
For certain components of it, yes.
Okay, so talk to us about this, the ribs and how it's made. This is a very unique style of construction.
So the ribs, we actually get, the material comes in a 4x12 sheet, and we have them CNC cut, so we can make any shape or profile that we want. We have them do the lightning holes and everything else for us, so it makes it very simple. And the rib is already cut to shape, so it's got the airfoil shape and everything else that we need. We do the same thing for the vertical tails as well as the horizontal tails. The material itself comes as a sandwich honeycomb. This is 1/2 inch. It has 2024 skins with I think it's a 2.3 pound density core, and then this is bonded together with a aircraft grade adhesive. So these are our control surface skins here. We get them pre-punched, so it comes with the radius in it, and then it's got the tabs for the trailing edge where we rivet it together. This is then formed over, for the control surfaces we use mahogany wood ribs, and then this is actually a horizontal tail skin here. This comes from the machine shop. We get it pre-punched, and then we drape the skin over the ribs, and we have a fixture to bond it together.
This construction method, I owned a Grumman Yankee back in the day, and that was epoxied together and with the honeycomb and all that style. This is totally unique and totally different. I haven't seen this before. So explain the construction of this literally erector set style of airframe.
So that is really the easiest way to describe it. Is this comes out of the box like you would have gotten an erector set. The pieces will come, a lot of them will come pre-cut, pre-drilled. All the material comes pre-shaped for the main fuselage. So you'll take it out of the box and cleco together. The tail section, the aft cabin here, or the empennage, you can put that together in about 2 hours, have the whole thing clecoed together. The gussets are laser cut. The material's pre-cut and drilled. And then from there, you just need to upsize, countersink, deburr, and put your screws in. We use all metal lock nuts with countersunk screws, the MS screws, all aircraft fasteners, no Home Depot stuff. The fuselage, a lot of that comes pre-cut and drilled, but what we do is we usually have the customer fixture the center section because that's kind of a critical component. And then the pieces that you see that go over the center section, usually those are custom made. but they come with prints and materials so that you can make it yourself.
Now, being that the rear aft part of the fuselage is already pre-drilled, is there any jigging required, or is it self-jigging just by simply bolting it together?
It's self-fixturing. The only thing that we use is, you can see, a sawhorse to kind of help hold the components in place. But as you start putting pieces on it, it'll start moving and going, and by the time you get the last piece in there, even with Clecos, you can take the thing up, take it, pick it up, shake it, do whatever you want. It's going to stay right where it is.
Now, you explained to me earlier that this completes the entire structure of it, and the skins are literally just wrapping it. Can you talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, so the skins, the aft section is 016 aluminum. From where the back passengers up would sit is 20 thousandths aluminum. The skins are not structural for the aircraft. We put them on with an aircraft grade contact cement. It's really simple to do. We use a few rivets for guides in any places where we think there may be some peel points. Beyond that, you could put whatever kind of skin you want on the aircraft.
Okay, so the skin is actually almost as if like a tube and fabric aircraft
Correct.
would be.
Yeah, yeah. You could wrap this thing in fabric if you wanted to.
So what type of anti-corrosion is done to protect the metals for this?
So you can see here that this is it's got a gold finish to it. We have a company local to us that once we build the frame up and have got everything upsized and where we want it, we take it apart to them and we have it allodyed. Not to be confused with anodizing. We do not anodize the frame. That'll actually weaken it. So everything you see here is chemically dipped and allodyed. You can do an epoxy primer if you want, or you can zinc chromate it. Any kind of corrosion protection that you want to do, you're welcome to do. The material comes all clad. If you're in an area that's not really susceptible to corrosion, the all clad stands up for quite a long time, but with us being only a couple miles from the sea, things corrode and rust very quickly here, so you need an additional level of protection. And the allodyning, for the cost and the ease of doing it, just taking it to somebody and it being done, has been the best way that we've found to do it. So to get to this stage here, you're looking at about a month of time. It all depends on how much time you put into it at once. If you're only spending an hour a day working on it, you know, you've got about 20 minutes of finding where you were and getting all your tools out and getting ready. So you're not really putting as much time into it as you should be. But if you can, you know, do a couple half days on the weekend and a few nights during the week to get some stuff done, we tell people usually the firewall back is between 800 and 1100 hours, depending on skill set and time that you put into it.
A very unique design where it has a tubular spar. Talk to us about how that all fits together.
So Jim's been very well known for his tubular spar design. It was originally come out in the Yankee. You remember that one actually used the wing spar as a fuel tank. We don't do that anymore. We do a wet wing design. But we stick with the tubular aluminum spar. It's strong, it's easy to work with. We have a center section here that sticks out, and then the wing spar slides over top of it, and then we have two bolts in here that hold it in place. When the wing is loaded, there's really no point for the bolts. The bolts really hold it in place when you're on the ground or unloaded. You get what's called a socket effect, and the wing doesn't go anywhere. We don't usually get any kind of chafing or anything else like that, but it's incredibly strong. Works the same in both directions, positive or negative G's, and has been the best thing that we've worked with.
The Bede 4 aircraft is one of the most popular kits that Bede Aero is selling at this moment. With 4 seats and a low build time, you could be flying cross country in no time. All right, so moving out to the hangar and the shop here. Hey everyone, let me take just a moment to thank our sponsors that make all of this possible. Great companies like Airworx, Airtech Coatings, Clemens Insurance Agency. Find links to each of their websites in the description below. And tell them you found them here on the Experimental Aircraft channel. And if you haven't already, I invite you right now to subscribe, hit the like button for this video, and check out our affiliate links in the description below. Go through the jigging process that you use for, I guess, the wings.
So these here are wing fixtures. We have a left and a right, so we can set up both wings at the same time. Being that we have a tubular spar, we have tubes set up on either end that are machined down, and we can set our spar in here. The other end slides into the spar, and then these arms here, these swing up, and we can lock those in place, and the angles on here are set for our rib spacing. So when we go to make a set of wings, we don't have to do a lot of measuring, we don't have to do a lot of setup. We pull the fixtures out, set them up, square them up, true them up, put the spars on, put the ribs on, line everything up, and then we can bond the ribs to the spar, and then at the same time we can rivet our trailing edge spar on, so that way we know when we're all done we've got a straight wing with no twist or any problems. So the horizontal stabilizer on all of our airplanes also uses a tubular main spar. This is one of the fixtures that we use to put it together. We do both the ribs and the skins on this one. You can see down at the other end it has a machined puck. The spar sits inside that, and we put them on here. We've got holders for them. Once these are inside, we'll put the ribs on. We can line the ribs up with every one of these, bond the rib on, put the trailing edge spar on just like we do with the wing. And then the difference with this fixture is, in order to get the skins on, we flip the tabs up, and then both sides will come down. We can put the skins over the bonded ribs at that point, has a sealant on it, and then close them up. And then we can lock it down, and that squeezes the skin down and holds it in place while it cures. And that way we get a uniform tail every single time. These come pre-done in the kits for all of our airplanes.
So at this point, the skins are on this. Explain to us how the skins go on and how to properly locate them on the airframe.
So as I said earlier, the skins are put on with a contact cement, not a structural component. Pretty much you get a sheet of aluminum and line it up where you want it, cut it out. We put a few rivets in the airplane, and those are pretty much to help you locate it as you're putting it together. But it's just all flat aluminum, nothing really. We don't put any kind of bends or anything else like that, only in a couple places. But otherwise, it's all just put on with contact cement, and as you can see, makes a nice clean flat side.
So what is the lead time on these kits, and what kind of boxes would a customer expect to receive?
So as you can see behind me, this is where we keep all the components for the airplanes. We always keep the fuselages in stock. We sell the airplane in different parts. We can sell it as a complete kit, or we can sell each airplane into 5 individual kits. We have all of our composite parts, wingtips, individual components for the airplanes, spars, center sections, all of that stuff we keep on hand. We may not actually have the kits put together, such as like the wing or the controls, because a lot of times we build that stuff here, but we can put them together rather quickly.
As you can see, Bede Aero is still making some very unique aircraft. Leave me a comment below on which one is your favorite, and maybe which one you'd like to fly. So walk us through your whole lineup here real quick and briefly describe what each model, the performance, and then also the kit pricing for 2021.
All right, so this one right here is our BD4. This is pretty much our flagship model. This is the C model. This will be 51 years old this year. 4-seat airplane, high wing, with a 200 horse. We cruise at this airplane 160 knots. You're looking at a stall speed of about 65 knots. It's one to give up. So it's a fast cross-country airplane. You're looking at almost a 1,200 pound useful load. and flies for 4 hours with half-hour reserve. We usually burn about 10 gallons an hour, holds 48 gallons usable, and it's a great plane to just go get in, go places, go have fun. We keep these kits in stock. You're looking at just under $30,000 for the kit firewall back, and we do offer builder assist for the airplane, either firewall back or firewall forward, and we have multiple options for avionics and engine.
So probably one of the most iconic of the airframes you have sitting out here. Talk about this model here for a second.
So this is a BD5 prop version. This is, we no longer produce these. We do support the aircraft. We do have some parts left. We've got plans out there for people to build kits that are out there. We answer phone calls. We do make wings for them. But that's about the only component that we continue to build for the aircraft. From there on out, once the parts run out, it's too expensive for us to retool. So we'll probably come out with something that's a little bit bigger, a little bit faster, and maybe can hold more people. So this is the BD6. This is the single seat version of the BD4. High wing, same construction, kind of the erector set aluminum construction. This one is also one that we keep in stock. I actually restored this airplane, about half of it in my own garage, and 60 horse engine, does about 110 miles an hour. Stall speeds are in the 40s, and it's a fun go out and fly and go somewhere by yourself airplane. Like I said, we continue to make kits for this, and probably our second most popular airplane. The kit firewall back for this runs just under 18. Again, multiple engine options, multiple instrument options, and we do also do builder assist with this airplane.
And what is the horsepower range options for this?
So anywhere from 50 to 90 horsepower. So it's exactly a half-size Yankee. This is the BD-17. This came out in the early 2000s. It can be a tail dragger or a tricycle configured aircraft. Just like the Yankee, it's built with a honeycomb tub. That comes in the kit already put together. So this is considered a quick build airplane. It has under 400 parts in total, and 3 guys could build this airplane in under a month. The kit on this one runs about $24,000 because honeycomb's fairly expensive, but you trade off a lot of time for money. It's same as the BD6, 110, 120 miles an hour. This one originally designed as an LSA, so it stalls a little bit lower. It's got a little bit longer wing port on it to keep it in the LSA. The original had a shorter wing on it, was actually too fast and stalled a little too high to be a light sport.
Again, another very iconic airframe here. But talk to us about this model.
So this is the BD-10. There were not very many of these built, but this was supposed to be the only supersonic home-built airplane. Originally was designed for Mach 1.4. It's all metal design except for the composite tub, pressurized. The original used either a J85 or an FJ44 engine. So this was available as a kit. Right now we're in the process of deciding whether we're going to continue on with it. We have a few people that like to restore the airplane, and I do get calls about it here and there, people wanting to buy airplanes. So down the line, with enough interest, it may be a project that we bring back. This was one that was actually built from a kit. This was not a factory-built airplane. And this one has 126 hours. While it's a little rough around the edges right now, it's got a little hangar rash, this airplane could be made airworthy again.
Very cool. Where can people go to contact you or get more information online?
So our website is jimbede.com. You can always email us or call us. I'll be the one that's there to answer it. You can find information on the aircraft. If you have any more questions or anything else like that, feel free to call us.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Experimental Aircraft Channel. I invite you to subscribe, like, and hit all those notifications. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.